a flow control. Okay. Now, even in TCP, we need that because application A sends the data, okay, and application B receives the data, and socket helps us to transmit and receive the data. Now, for first thing that TCP has is the buffer. Okay, so every data that comes and every data that is transmitted from the application A, it is just maintained in the send buffer, and then from the send buffer it is just transmitted to the receive buffer. So that was the first little thing that TCP uses for a flow control. Okay, so the data that comes in is not dropped, it is maintained in a buffer. Okay, so you just have a small basket where you can put all the packets, and then later on you can deliver it to the application. Number two is TCP. It's a very important point. TCP maintains something called a window size. You would have seen this when we are discussing the segment structure. Okay, so it's 16-bit window size. So what is that window size? So that is the amount of data that can be received by the receiver. Okay, so now during the initial handshaking process, your sender will send, hey, listen, server, this is what is the data I can receive. Okay, so the sender will send its buffer size. Okay, so buffer size in the sense it is not the whole buffer size. It's buffer size where it can fill the data, the empty buffer size. Okay, so it just send the window size to the server, and also the server send its window size to the client. So this is how they just talk about the window size with each other. Okay, so you could see in the next example here. So the client, okay, so the SYN packet is sent. Okay, the SYN packet is sent with the sequence number of 8563. Now the client advertised the sync packet. Now it says that my window size is only 5000 bytes. What does this mean? Only after I acknowledge the 5000 bytes, you are supposed to send me the remaining bytes. That is what is the meaning of the sending the size. Similarly, the server sends SYN plus acknowledgement, the second step of connection management. When it's sent, it says, okay, see, listen, my size is 10,000. So whatever data you send it to me, you should send only 10,000 bytes. So then only after I acknowledge the 10,000 bytes, you can just send me the remaining. So they both agree on their speed. All right. They both agree on negotiate on their speed. Okay. This is what is my speed. This is what is your speed. So let us just go ahead with the speed. So as they negotiate with their speed and just go ahead, their data transmission is reliable. Okay, the packet is not lost. Okay, only after the acknowledgement of the packet, the next packet is sent. So this is how the window size is maintained. Okay, we'll see through some examples. So this is a initial protocol. Okay, what is that initial protocol? So before you have TCP's real working, okay, I'll tell you how TCP works. But before moving on to the real window protocol, they had this, okay, stop and wait windowing protocol. What is that? Now the client will say, hey, come on, I can send only 5000. Now server says, come on, I can also receive only, I can send only 10,000. Okay, so the client window, what is the meaning of client window? It means that, hey, come on, server, whatever you send it to me, you send within 5000. If you send beyond 5000, I, the client, cannot receive it. Similarly, what the server says, come on, the client, whatever data you just send it to me, you send only 10,000 bytes. Whatever you send beyond 10,000, I cannot receive it. Okay, so they both first initially negotiate on their data transmission. Okay, transmission range. Then what happened? See, the server is sending the data. So 1000 to 2000, 2001 to 3000, 3000 to 4000, 4000 to 5000. So the bytes of data is sent. Okay, so the starting from the first sequence 1 2 0 1 2 3 4, all the 5 data transmission has taken place, and after that what happened? It is waiting for the acknowledgement. The server is waiting for the acknowledgement. Okay, so now he acknowledges, yes, send me 5001. Okay, I have received till 5000, send me 5001. So when he acknowledges itself, he says, I can receive only 5000. He again remind the server what is its window size. Okay, so it says, come on, my window size is 5000 only. Okay, meanwhile of time, when the data transmission is going on here, meanwhile of time, if there is any data loss or any hiccup that happens in the network, immediately the client will reduce its window. Okay, so it will reduce it to half, 2500. It will reduce it to 2500 and say, come on, the data that you have sent, I lost one or two, so reduce the window to 2500. So it sends a cumulative acknowledgement, but what is the here it sends a client's size, and the server negotiates itself its window size, and then the data transmission starts. Okay. Now this is what you call stop and wait windowing protocol. What is stop and wait? You send up to the window size, then you wait for the acknowledgement. Then after you get the acknowledgement, send the next. Then after you receive the acknowledgement of the next, send the next. So this is what you call the stop and wait windowing protocol. So now people thought, can we the stop and wait windowing protocol, see, by till it receives an acknowledgement, this guy has to wait. Okay, it is just sending only sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, everything it has sent. Till it receives an acknowledgement, it cannot transmit sequence 5001. Okay. So they thought, can we have a better method? Is there any better method available? That is where comes into picture called sliding window protocol. Okay, sliding window protocol. So this is what TCP follows. Okay, so transmission control protocol basically works based on the sliding window protocol. Now, how the sliding window protocol works? It says, okay, now send me my window size. The client says my window size is 10,000. Okay, so my window size is 10,000. So whatever you send me 10,000 bytes. Okay. Now what happened in the server side is server will just form a window of 10 segments, 1,000 bytes each. Okay, the segment size is 1,000 bytes. So he will say, okay, this fellow can receive only 10,000. So let me check out 10 windows. Okay, it will frame 10 windows, and every window is of 1,000 bytes and totally 10,000 bytes. Now what happened? It will start the data transmission. Okay, segment 1. So segment 2, it keeps on transmitting. Okay, it will not, it keeps on transmitting. Now as it receives the acknowledgement, so now you see acknowledgement 2. What is the meaning of acknowledgement 2? We have already discussed in the previous class. What is the meaning of acknowledgement 2? I have received 1, send 2. Okay, that is the meaning. So now if he says acknowledgement 2, so slightly the window moves to this side. Can you see here the third picture? I want everybody to listen to this picture. So the client says my window size is 10,000. So the every segment size is 1,000. So he said 10 segments. Okay, the server has set 10 segments. The total size is 10,000 bytes. So listen, the window size should not exceed 10,000 bytes. That is a condition. That is first condition. Okay. Now, when can you move? Only after receiving the acknowledgement you can move. Okay, that is what is the two conditions that is followed in the sliding window protocol. What is the condition number 1? Condition number 1 is the window size should not be greater than the client's advertised window size. Number 2 is I can slide to the next byte or the next segment only if I receive the acknowledgement for the first segment. See, I have received acknowledgement 2, so it slides towards this. Okay, so here it comes up to 11, 2 to 11. Then acknowledgement 3, then again it has moved to the little bit of right. Then acknowledgement 4, again little bit of right. So this is how the sliding window protocol works. All right. Now you may wonder how flow control is enforced in TCP. This is how the flow control is enforced in TCP. In every acknowledgement, the window size of the receiver is advertised. Okay, as you send being a transmitter, if it send a packet to the receiver, it is a must or it is a mandate in TCP that the transmitter should receive an acknowledgement. So whenever it receives an acknowledgement, it also receives a window size. Okay, so based on that, it will just adjust the speed of data transmission. Okay, so that is why we call TCP as reliable data transfer protocol. Okay, so TCP has all these features. It is really a heavyweight protocol, but yet whenever you want reliability, whenever you don't want not even a single packet to get lost in the network, you have to go for TCP. Okay, now here is another video that shows sliding window data transfer. Please have a look at it. Window size is set to 4 here. As it receives the acknowledgement, the sender just slide the window. Okay. Now you have a different version of this also, TCP sliding window with error. If a packet is lost, how the sliding window works, you can check YouTube, or else I'll just give the link here and upload the presentation in the class. Okay. Now, there are different types of variables maintained in the sender side as well as in the receiver side. Okay. So last byte read was these two are the variables that was maintained in the receiver side. Okay. So last byte read and last byte received. Okay. So, and there is also a formula how the receiver window should be. Okay. So receiver window is last byte received minus the last byte read should be always less. The receive buffer should be greater. Okay. So greater than these two values. All right. Then the receive window is equal to the receive buffer minus of last byte received minus last byte read. Okay. So this is how the receiver window is set. So how is the sender window set? Sender window is the total number of data, okay, bytes the receiver is already ready to accept, and this is the total number of data that it is yet to send. Okay, 25, 26, 27, 28 is the data that it is yet to send, and 21, 22, 23, 24 are the data that it has sent but has not received any acknowledgement. So only these two datas are this should be the total size of the sender window. Okay, it should check out what is the data that is yet to send. So yet to send also must be agreed by the receiver. Okay, receiver must agree that, okay, you send me 4 segments of data. So that is how the send window is set. Okay, so just you can go through this. Right. Now, one more technical issue is there. Okay, so one more technical issue is there. What is that issue? I'll tell you. Now, let's say, for example, there is a client and there is a server. Okay, please, all of you listen. One technical issue I'll tell you. There is a client and a server. Now, what happened is the client has sent my window is 5. Okay, my window is 5. All right. And now what happened here is all right, the server, all right, the server also has sent the data. My window size is 5. Okay. And then after this data transmission, there is nothing to send from the server to the client. See, for example, there is nothing. Okay, the data transmission from the client to the server is nil. I don't want to send anything. Okay, in that case, what happens is, but still the client is sending the data. Okay, still the client is sending the data, but the server has nothing to send. Okay, in that case, what will happen here is you will not know the receiver size. Okay, you will not know about the window size of a server. Okay, so that is what is said. Usually TCP, what it will do is, even though both the entities has nothing to send, the TCP specification requires that host A to continue to send segments with 1 data byte when B's receive window is 0. Okay, so when B's receive window is 0, okay, I'll tell you in this way. For example, now you say there is a client and a server. Now server receive window is initially 0. Okay, server window is 0. So now what happened to the client? Client cannot send any data. Please listen, client cannot send any data. In this situation, the server has also nothing to send it to the client. Okay, already it has acknowledged all the packet, it has sent to the client. But now by the time what happened is, the buffer is empty. Okay, it has transmitted all the data in its buffer to the application and the buffer is empty. So the receiver window is 0 now. Now the client can send the data, but the server has nothing to transmit to the client. So server is also simply sitting. Okay. Now what happened? The client is not notified that the receiver window has become 0. Okay, it has become 0. Now what will happen? The server also has nothing to acknowledge to the client, and the client is also not notified that its window size has already, its buffer has already become 0. Now how will the client be notified? That is why we have a process called the client, the B can send a 1 data byte. Okay, it can send 1 data byte notifying the client that the buffer has become 0. Okay, it can notify that the buffer has become 0. Now what happened? The client can start its transmission. Okay, hope you have understand the technical issue. So this is what is the technical issue that is faced, but TCP has a process to overcome that. That is, the server can send 1 data byte with its notifying that its window is empty. Okay, or its buffer is empty. You can send me the data. Okay, so this is how the flow control is done. Okay, so before we go to the connection management, I want everybody to just have a look at this picture. Okay, now we'll move to the next concept called TCP connection management. Okay, so we all know that TCP maintains three-way handshaking. Okay, it does three-way handshaking before it start any data transmission, and after it completes its data transmission, it will finish. Okay, so all these things takes place in TCP, and now how this happens, we'll see. Okay, number one is the connection establishment. Okay, so how do they establish the connection? We all know that there are two important flags involved in data connection establishment. One is the SYN flag, the other one is the acknowledgement flag. Okay, so now initially whenever a client want to open a connection with the server, it will send SYN. It will set the SYN flag as 1. It will choose its own sequence number. Okay, I told you every time the sequence number is not 0, it is selected by the client, it is selected by the server. Okay, so that's why it is mentioned as client ISN. All right, so sequence number, client's sequence number. Okay, so SYN is equal to 1 and client sequence number is communicated from the client to the server. Then what happens is, if the server is ready to accept the connection, okay, if the server is ready to accept the connection, it also send an acknowledgement. Okay, what is the acknowledgement? Client sequence number plus 1. So what does it mean? I receive your SYN. I'm also ready to accept a connection from your side. So my SYN is 1. Okay, SYN is 1. All right. So a sequence number, it selects its own sequence number. This is my sequence number. It notify its sequence number. It notify the SYN is equal to 1. That is, what is SYN is equal to 1? It means that server is also ready to accept the connection from the client. Okay, it is also ready to open a connection with the client. Now then what happened? The client accepts the data. Okay, SYN is equal to 0 means it is the last step of connection establishment. Okay, it is the last step of connection establishment. Then sequence is equal to client plus 1. Okay, so it is initially I started with client ISN. Now my number is client ISN plus 1. And I would like to acknowledge yours. Okay, so during this connection establishment process, they also agree upon various segments like receive window, what will be your receive window, what will be my receive window. So such factors are also negotiated between the client and the server. And many a times during the third acknowledgement, for example, protocol like HTTP, okay, so during the third acknowledgement itself, third step itself, your data transmission take place. Okay, here itself your HTTP request packet is also sent. All right, so this is about the connection establishment. So next one is the connection close. Now all data transmission is done. I want to close the connection. What happened? Client will send a fin bit. Okay, so we'll send a packet with fin bit equal to 1. And next the server sends an acknowledgement. Okay, it receives an acknowledgement from the server. Now this is what you called as half close. Okay, so client and the server closing a connection, you will call it as a half close connection. Now, when the server is also ready to just wait, close the connection, it will send a fin, okay, and then acknowledgement. So any entity who want to close the connection in TCP should send a fin and should have received an acknowledgement. Okay, so should send a fin and should have received an acknowledgement. Then again from the other entity also it should have received a fin and sent an acknowledgement. Then only it is fully closed. Otherwise, it is only half closed. So this is very important as far as TCP is concerned. You have a three-way handshaking process and also you have connection termination process. Now, this is what is the finite state machine. Okay, state machine that shows your different states of your connection open and connection closed. Okay. So this is the states that is visited by the client side of the TCP. Listen, this is the phase that is opened by the client side of the TCP. Now here you see, initially it is closed. Okay, initially you have nothing to send. So what you will do is you will send a SYN sent. Okay, the client will send a SYN sent. Okay, then what happens? It has to wait for receiving the acknowledgement and SYN and acknowledgement. Okay, so that is the second step. It receives SYNs and acknowledgement. After it receives the SYNs and acknowledgement, it sends an acknowledgement. So after sending acknowledgement, what happened? The connection is established. Okay, so what I showed in the first diagram, it is pictorially represented in terms of a state machine, state diagram. Okay, now is taking place here after establishing. It want to close the connection. How does it do? It send a finish. Okay, it send a fin. Okay, and it enter into fin wait, okay, and receive acknowledgement and send nothing. So after it receives an acknowledgement for its finish, okay, it is only closing the connection. Okay, after it receives an acknowledgement, it is not eligible to send any data. If at all it want to send any data, it should again go to this state. Okay, if at all it want to send any data again to the server, it has to go here and then come back. Then it also wait for the finish from the other side. Okay, it also wait for the finish from the other side. So receive the finish, send the acknowledgement. Okay, so after it receives the finish, it will send the acknowledgement and wait for 30 minutes and closes the connection. Okay, forever with the server. It wait for 30 minutes, so 30 seconds and closes the server, close the connection with the server. Okay, this is what happens in the client side. Now let us see what happens in the server side. Okay, this is what you have that happen in the server side. So what the server check out? It just wait for the listen. Okay, so it just listen to anybody is opening the connection. It keep on listening. Then what happened? It receives a SYN. Okay, it is receiving a SYN. So then it should send a SYN plus. So this is what you called as accepting. Okay, so accept a function. So you would have seen in the TCP socket programming there is a function called accept. So you send a SYN and acknowledgement. Okay, so after you send a SYN and acknowledgement, what is that server supposed to do? It should wait for acknowledgement from the client. Okay, now again it wait. Okay, so receives an acknowledgement and sends something. Okay, it receives and it is established. Okay, connection is established. Now what happened? It has to close the connection. Okay, so how will it close the connection? It receives a finish from the client. Okay, client says, okay, but all the data transmission is done. I want to close it. I want to leave you forever. Okay, so it sends a fin. For it fin, it should send an acknowledgement. After it send an acknowledgement, it should send a fin from each side. Okay, from the server side, it should send a finish. And then it will be closing. Okay, it will receive an acknowledgement from the client and it will closing. So these two pictures are a state diagram picture of these two. Okay, so connection establishment and the connection close. So these two diagrams are explained in a state diagram fashion in the client side and the server side here. Okay, and there is one more serious threat that is existing here in the TCP connection establishment phase. Okay, that is what you called as SYN flooding attack. There is a possibility of SYN flooding attack. So we'll see how the SYN flooding act, some details about SYN flooding attack here in this video. This is actually a video. Just a minute, ma. So now you would have checked out what is a SYN flooding attack, and kindly do not attempt this. You can attempt on your machine, but do not attempt on any servers, because you may be blacklisted. You can attempt a solution for SYN flooding attack, but kindly do not attempt a SYN flooding attack on any authorized servers. Okay, I know very enthusiastic hackers and cyber security people are there in this class, but kindly do not do it. All right. So now in today's class, we discuss about different type of TCP flow control. Number one, flow control is enforced by means of maintaining a buffer on both the sides. Then we discussed that it is just maintained because of the received window size. Okay, window size, 16-bit window size, which is communicated from the sender side and also the receiver side. So sender says, this is what I can receive, and receiver also says, this is what I can receive. So both the entity know well about each other, what is their capacity, and only for their capacity they are fed in. Okay. So there are different type of techniques used. The stop and wait was the very traditional one, but it has to wait for the acknowledgement and then only it has to transmit the next window size. But there was a TCP uses something called sliding window, where as the packets are acknowledged, the window slides towards the right, transmitting every byte of every segment of data. So then we discuss about the connection management and also different variables in the sending side and as well as in the receiving side. We also discuss about the connection management, where TCP has three-way handshaking, which helps a SYN bit, and using the SYN bit and acknowledgement bit. So then we discuss about the finish, half close, full close, and also we discuss the state diagram for TCP connection establishment, connection management process. Okay, so the state diagram in the client side, the state diagram in the server side. So, and also we discuss a little bit about what is SYN flooding attack and how it is done and how it can affect the server. Okay, so or the server by consuming the memory and CPU of itself. Okay, so this is what we discuss in today's class. So next, in the next class onwards, we are going to discuss about the very important feature of TCP called congestion control. So first we will be discussing about how can congestion happen in the network. Okay, and then we will be discussing about